Welcome to the Deep Dive. Our job, well, it's pretty simple. We grab those sciencey claims you see everywhere, the ones that sound maybe a bit too good, and we try to figure out if it's actual breakthrough engineering or, just marketing hype. Today, we're diving into something called Clarity Blue glasses. You might have also seen names like MagVision or AutoZoom floating around. Basically, they claim they've cracked vision correction. One pair of glasses, maybe $20, and they say it automatically adjusts focus all the way from 100 to 700 diopters.
Which is, just a massive range. If you're not familiar, a diopter is how we measure lens power.
Right, so they're promising a 600-point jump in strength instantly. So the big question for you is, did someone just make prescription updates obsolete forever? Or is this promise kind of, breaking the laws of physics? Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah, okay. So the first big hurdle this claim runs into is just basic biology, how the human eye actually works.
Okay.
See, our natural lens does adjust focus. It's called accommodation. But that ability, it drops off really sharply as we age.
Right. That's why by the time most people hit their mid-40s, they're suddenly needing reading glasses for everything up close.
Exactly. And at that age, you can usually manage maybe less than one single diopter of natural adjustment. That's it.
Wow, just one.
Yeah. So the idea that some $20 plastic glasses can suddenly cover that whole range, near vision, distance vision, replacing basically 40 years of lost biology, it just doesn't stack up, biologically speaking.
And it totally skips over how specific real prescriptions need to be.
Absolutely. And this is, I think, where the real sleight of hand happens. When you go to an optometrist, right, they fine-tune your lenses in these tiny quarter diopter steps because your prescription isn't just one number. It's like a custom-tailored suit. But for your eyes, it needs the sphere that's the basic focus, but also cylinder and axis for astigmatism and your specific pupillary distance. Everyone's different.
So the idea of one magic lens covering a 600 diopter range and somehow fixing everyone's unique astigmatism.
Yeah. It's just... medically, it makes no sense. It's nonsensical.
Okay, this gets really wild when you put their claims next to what actual science is doing. Let's talk about the real researchers working on adjustable lens tech, using things like liquid crystal systems, tiny processors, sensors, folks at places like the University of Utah, or a company called Diopter.
Right. And what's really telling is just how much effort goes into the real thing. These genuine prototypes, they're often bulky, they're expensive, they need integrated electronics to work.
Yep.
And after all that incredibly complex engineering, the absolute maximum adjustment range they can get, in perfect lab conditions, it's maybe 3 diopters?
Wait, hold on. 3. They're pouring millions into research, using advanced tech, and getting 3 diopters of adjustment, while Clarity Blue is over here claiming 700 diopters for $20.
Exactly. That contrast alone should be setting off alarm bells, major ones.
Yeah, no kidding.
And it does. If you step back from the science claims and just look at the business side, the red flags just keep popping up. Our checks show the website selling these, barely a year old. Security analysis gives it a trust score of 24 out of 100, which is terrible. Ownership is hidden. And the site's already been blacklisted by several consumer watchdogs. These are just classic scam indicators.
But what about people who actually bought them? What do they say?
Well, the reports confirm what you'd suspect. People get cheap, flimsy plastic frames. And the lenses, they're just fixed, basic magnifying lenses, like cheap readers you buy at the drugstore.
So they don't adjust at all?
Nope. No adjustment. They certainly can't correct astigmatism. And because they aren't customized, for the person's actual eyes, people often report getting really bad headaches from wearing them.
Wow.
Precisely. And this brings up a really important point about safety. Proper prescription eyewear, it's actually classified by the FDA. It's a Class 1 medical device. There are strict rules.
Right, regulations.
Yeah, these things. They're essentially low-quality magnifiers pretending to be some kind of advanced tech. They ignore all the necessary customization, they violate basic physics, and they're putting poorly made devices on people's faces.
So, summing this all up, what does it mean for you, the listener? It's not just a bit of an exaggeration here. It seems like a systematic fraud, really. This promise of universal 700 diopter glasses for the price of lunch, sold on some sketchy website. It's selling something physically impossible. They're dressing up cheap reading glasses as some revolutionary science that simply doesn't exist.
Yeah, and what really stands out, I think, is how cleverly these outfits exploit a very real need. People want a cheap, simple fix for vision problems, which can be expensive and complicated. So they use jargon, scientific-sounding language to make you think they've found a shortcut around years of research and medical practice.
But really, they just sold you some plastic.
Exactly, just plastic.
So here's our final thought for you to take away. Anytime you see a product, especially online, promising to replace years of careful, expensive, customized medical advice and devices with a single, cheap, $20 one-size-fits-all solution, you need to ask yourself, what critical, very specific, personalized steps like matching the lens to the unique shape and needs of your eye are they just completely ignoring? Save your money, honestly. Go see an actual optometrist.